This is the homepage of the association portal. So this is where you'll get your tools like the memberships, the operators that you can manage, the players and the sanctions, the tournaments that you can also manage, communication between operators, players, and so on. Billing and the reports for stats from tournaments and such. So this is the homepage where you can access all the tools, and I'll show you each individual tool. The homepage is basically a piece of information tool where you can have access to, what's pending, what the billing looks like, the registration for the tournaments, the operators that are waiting to be approved. So this way you'd come on, you can see that you've got 3 pending VNA approvals. So you know that there's players that have been you've been asked to approve them because they're new or they have a sanction and you need to come in and approve them, or what your billing is at, the money that you owe, the tournaments that you can register for, and the operators that need approval when they log on and they've created an account. So there are also shortcuts to get to some of these tools, but they're an information piece so that you can see what's going on, what's pending, and what needs to be done. This is the operators section. So this is where you would manage the list of your operators and you approve them as soon as they create a login user account for the association portal so that they can use their tools as operators, such as going in and being able to change some of the information or add any of the information that you might need, such as addresses, phone numbers, emails, and whatnot. And from there, they can also manage the list of their personnel. So who's got an account and who's able to manage some of the leagues, the league operators. And this is where you would also be able to approve the operators that are using the system under the association portal for VNA. This is the tournament section of the portal. So you can have the list of all the tournaments that are registerable so that your operators can come in and register their players directly in the portal here. So to add them, you'd have the list of all the tournaments that are created on CompuSport. And I'll show you how to make one. I'll just see for something that's coming up. So let's say this Battle of the Band, I want to make it registerable. So I click there. I'm able to even change some of the information, the registration date, the skill levels that I want that are needed for this tournament. And then I can save that. So I can add all that information. And from there, you can even edit the divisions that will be in the tournament. So you can create any divisions you want. You can make it registerable. You can add, the skill levels necessary for the division, the entry fees and all that, so that it gets calculated automatically on the system for operators to be able to pay directly online. So you can manage all that information from there. And once you're done that, then your tournament is available on the list here so people can do the start registration. So I had one here, for example, the WCVNEA. If I start registration, and then here, directly from here, I'd add and remove, and the system would automatically calculate how many entries, and with the information given, it'll know how much the invoice is coming up to, and they can pay their invoices directly online. So you'd have that information available for you and access for the operators to be able to pay directly with credit card or by check directly on the portal. So that's the tournament section. And it can be managed, like I said, for you or for the operators. This is the players and sanctions section used by operators where they can come in and they can see a list of their players and they're able to sanction them directly on the portal. So they can check the box and sanction their players. And from there, the system will then put them in a pending payment list where the system is waiting for them to pay for their sanction fees that they can do directly on the portal. If not, there's a pending approval. So those are new players and they'd be sending them in for approval and waiting for VNA to approve of these players. So they would sit in that list. if not the pending payment, as I was saying. So they're sanctioned and they're waiting, the system's waiting for them to pay. And once that's done, they'll be in the sanction list. So it's a way of operators to manage their sanctioning and for you to keep track and be able to come in and see the players that are sanctioned. This will also help for tournament registration as players will be sanctioned, and this will help the system validate if the player had been sanctioned on the association portal. So an easy tool here to sanction. And what's nice too is that there's the status, so you can say either it's pending, it's sanctioned, it's waiting for approval, so they can keep track here of their players and where they're at with the process. The billing section of the portal is used to keep track of payments that are coming in. So you can see you'd have a list of all the payments that have been made from operators paying for memberships or for tournament registration or for sanctions. So you can keep track of all of those. You'd have all the available information, the amount, the due date, the payment type, so you can keep track here and manage them right from here and see the list of invoices that you have. The membership section is for operators to be able to get a membership and pay for that membership, and for you to be able to manage the list of your memberships from operators. So they'll be able to do that directly online right over here. The communication section that is available will be a tool that can help you communicate with your operators. It can help operators communicate with players, or you can also communicate with players this way. You can this way send notifications. You can decide if you're sending the message to all or if you're sending it to a specific division that you want to send some information to them, and that way you can communicate with whoever you need, as all the information is available on the association portal. So that's the communication piece that is nice to help with communication and sending out information. The reporting section is going to be for stats from tournaments. So if you wanted to pull any of the stats that you need from a past tournament and you need to get some of that information, you'd be able to go to reporting and get a report for any of the tournaments that happened on CompuSport. So you'd have that information available for you.